Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Man, this is one of those where uh look, I know Micah Parsons has been a major topic of conversation. What is going on here though is something that's been going on. This really started his rookie year. That's how I like to put this. The Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones contract situation started his rookie year. And so I'm going to take it back to his college year and then his rookie season and take it all the way to today. Because what we got to remember is Micah Parsons started out as a linebacker. He was drafted as a linebacker. Now he had pass rush ability in his draft profile. It was in he could do it. He can rush the pass, but he was not a defensive end. He was a off-ball inside linebacker. We needed him to play defensive end that rookie year because we needed pass rush. I think Demarcus Lawrence got hurt. I can't remember, but I know we needed pass rush, and he was able to do that. And so we started playing him there. So, but that's where all this started because, and I'm going to go over it because there's a history and there's a money thing going on that'll kind of help us kind of understand what's going on here. So again, Micah Parsons was drafted to be a linebacker. He just so happened to be able to rush the passer very good. The issue with that is linebacker money and pass rusher money is way different. So when Micah Parsons started to rush that passer his rookie year, in between his rookie year and second year, he had a decision to make. Do I want to play linebacker or do I want to play defensive end? Do I want to play linebacker or do I want to play defensive end? That was the decision Micah Parsons had to make in between year one and year two. We knew he could rush the passer, but when he decided to go from 55%, like 50% DN and 50% linebacker, actually it was like 65% linebacker, 40% DN. When he decided to go 80% DN to basically full-time defensive end, that's when the whole money thing became an issue to me when it came to Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. It's a whole different ball game when you start talking defensive end money. Defensive ends make double what inside linebackers make. So the question becomes, did Micah Parsons make the best decision to become a defensive end? That's the question. Financially, he made a great decision. He's going to make more money as a defensive end. The issue is now you're in this kind of a dilemma. Now you're in this dilemma. Jerry Jones would have had no issue paying Micah Parsons Fred Warner type money and above. He would have had no issue. You know why? Because the inside linebacker position, that money has not changed. If you look up Fred Warner's contract, he stayed the highest paid linebacker when he signed years ago and recently. And if you look it up, the inside linebacker position is the lowest position when it comes to growing in salaries over the years. The inside linebacker position is a very undervalued position. So Micah Parsons made the best decision financially to be a defensive end after his rookie year. But now he's in this issue where now Jerry Jones has to think about, well, do I want to pay you as a defense end? Now, why is Jerry Jones hesitating? Because what has happened as Micah Parsons has been a full-time defensive end? He's broken down over the last few years. He breaks down over time. He's had a couple seasons where he breaks down. We have the whole thing where he's not playing the run very well, right? So as Jerry Jones is thinking, Well, is Micah Parsons that dominant defensive end? Is that what he is? Or is he just a dominant pass rusher? Am I paying for a dominant pass rusher or am I paying for a game changer, defensive end who's going to wreck game all day? I think Micah Parsons is a better linebacker, if you ask me. I think he should have probably stayed at linebacker, but I get it. Played defensive end, but he may have lowered his career because his heart on his body. He doesn't last long when it comes to playing defensive end. This is where I think Micah Parsons messed up. Now, also the agent. We got to talk about the agent. What do you think the agent is going to want? What do you think the agent is going to say when he says, "Oh snap, Micah Parsons is starting to play defensive end. We didn't see this coming." Ching, right? Because the agent knows defensive ends get paid 2 times more than inside linebackers. The agent knows that inside linebackers get paid way less than any other position when it comes to how that position is growing in salaries. The agent knows this. So when the agent says, and the agent and Micah Parsons is probably talking in between year one and year two, the agent is probably saying, hey, yeah, you probably do want to play defensive end because also look at the money. Now, Jerry Jones has to think, okay, I have a great player here. He's all time great. Jerry already says he's made him the most money, but Jerry also has said these are hard decisions to make when you're going to make somebody the highest paid player. These are hard decisions, which tells you Jerry Jones is not all the way set on that money that he's trying to pay. Again, the agent is going to want Micah Parsons to play defensive end. Micah Parsons financially made the right decision. The issue is, I don't know if Jerry Jones wants to pay Micah Parsons like a Myles Garrett and like those guys. I don't know if he wants to do that. And I don't know if we should as a Cowboy fan. We've been watching Micah Parsons for years. Does he do we really feel like he's that piece that's going to take us to a Super Bowl? Or do you rather have, like Jerry Jones keeps saying, would you rather have 4 other Pro Bowlers, 3 or 4 other Pro Bowlers who can fill in and make some other plays for us? But again, I think this was big. I think the main thing here was Micah Parsons decided to be a full-time defensive end after his rookie year. I think he and his agent made a financial decision. I think the Cowboys was okay with it because he was productive, but I think right now that's where the issue is now we got to pay this linebacker who turned into a pass rusher. Now we have to pay him like Myles Garrett when in reality, he's broken down over the last half years. He's not that great against the run. He has his challenges. This is where it is. If Micah Parsons stays at linebacker, Micah Parsons would have been paid last year as the highest paid inside linebacker. There would have been no questions at no questions. But when he decided to be a full-time defensive end, he's great at rushing the passer. He is. But this is the dilemma. This is the dilemma. I think there's people on the leadership team, not just Jerry, that don't really know if Micah is that guy. That's what I believe. Is he that guy that you say, make him the highest paid defensive player ever? Why? Podcasting. That's one thing. Why do we think that the podcasting is not an issue when we've had players come out and say something? Malik Hooker brought it up. Malik Hooker said something about it. He said he was asked about it. He said, it's not really my thing. I think, I don't think Micah should really be doing it. DeMarcus Lawrence, yes, DeMarcus Lawrence was probably pushed out because of Micah Parsons' greatness. I get it. But Micah Parsons understood what was going on. He was there. We got to listen to him. I don't think DeMarcus Lawrence felt like Micah Parsons was a leader. I don't feel like the players on that team feel like Micah Parsons is a leader. I think he shows that he wants to be a leader, but he doesn't act like one. How do you act like a leader? You don't lay on tables during a preseason game. You don't do that. How do you act like a leader? You don't talk to Jerry Jones about numbers and apparently they met 3 times. You don't do that and then make a post that you no longer want to be a Cowboy and because of the way they negotiated, blah 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 blah. Yeah, No, man, be a man. Man up. Man up, Micah. Man up. The agent needs to man up too. He's a brother. I like him. He needs to man up too. You did not coach your client well enough because Micah Parsons should have never met with Jerry Jones. We heard people say Dak Prescott used to meet with Jerry Jones too, but as soon as they started talking numbers, you got to talk to my agent. CD Lamb met one on one with Micah with Jerry Jones too, but as soon as they started talking numbers, got to talk to my agent. Micah Parsons got to man up, man. He needs to man up and understood that he made a financial decision to play defensive end. Him and David, they did. That was a financial decision. You're already getting paid double the amount of money that you were slotted to get paid as you came out as a rookie if you would have been a linebacker. You already getting double that. So understand that you're going to get paid all the money you need to get paid. You're going to get all that. Don't let the agent, and this is what Michael Irvin and is trying to tell Micah. Don't let the agent ruin your plan. Your plan was to win Super Bowls as the Dallas Cowboys. That was your plan. Your plan was not to make the most money ever. Don't change up your plan. If you went to Jerry Jones as a man and you said, I agree to these numbers, then take those numbers to the agent and say, look, I shouldn't have talked to Jerry. I messed this up, but let's go win a Super Bowl because my value does not go up anywhere else outside of Dallas. Micah Parsons' value can only go down when it comes to marketability and all the other things that he can do to make money. Don't mess it up. Stay your butt in Dallas, sign that contract. Don't do the franchise thing because you're not going to be happy. Go win a Super Bowl, man. And so you can play with that passion that we love to see you play with. Micah Parsons playing on his rookie contract the first 2 3 years showed bad body language sometimes. There were times when we would be watching him during the games and be like, why is Micah Parsons looks like he's sad or it looks like he's not happy? And it's always during the games where he hasn't made any plays, right? So we already see those things. You really think Micah Parsons is going to be a good player on a franchise contract? No. Micah needs to just go ahead and take the L. You negotiated the contract with you shouldn't have talked numbers. You shouldn't have. And this is another thing. Is he not close enough to Dak and CD to where Dak and CD, who just signed contracts, signed multiple contracts with Jerry, he's not comfortable enough to be able to talk to them and be like, hey, y'all, should I talk to Jerry one on one? Maybe there's some arrogance there where Micah just didn't listen. Maybe Micah Parsons didn't listen to his agent. Maybe Micah Parsons didn't listen to CD. Maybe he didn't listen to Dak Prescott. Maybe he didn't listen to Michael Irvin. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do it my way. And he got caught. Because Jerry Jones is the owner and the general manager, and he's not trying to make Micah Parsons the highest paid player ever just because it feels good. Jerry Jones is trying to save money. All right. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to watch this, man. But I feel like if if Micah Parsons and his agent decide to be an inside linebacker after that rookie year and say, no, I'm going to stick to my position. I'm glad that I was able to help the team out, but I want to be an inside linebacker. Micah Parsons gets signed by end of year 3. He becomes the highest paid linebacker. He gets paid more than Fred Warner. He gets paid more than the dude in Baltimore. He's the highest paid inside linebacker, no question. As soon as he said, I'm going to be a full time defensive end, as soon as he said that, there became a dilemma because I don't know if he deserves to be paid the highest ever at defensive end. He has issues. He doesn't play the run very well. We see it. He doesn't play the second half of seasons very well because he gets worn down. He still is the same size he is in these clips in NCAA at Micah Parsons is the same size he is today. He's small. And yes, TJ Watt is small too. I get that. I'm one of the guys who say you don't pay pass rushers that kind of money. I think you find pass rushers as a team and you go get it. But if you want to pay a pass rusher top money, you got to understand that you got to build a team around them. And right now, the Cowboys don't have a team. Do we really want to be the Cleveland Browns? Do we really want to be the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do we want to be that? Because that's what we're going to be if we sign Micah. We're just going to be a good team that's still not going to win a Super Bowl. So I think this is an interesting situation. I'm for trading Micah because I feel like his value is up and we can get a lot for him. I'm for trading Micah, but I understand a lot of people are not for that. But I just think this is an interesting thing that's going on. And it really started when he became a full time defensive end. If he would have stayed at linebacker, Micah gets all that money. He's already paid and working towards his third contract now. But he made a financial decision and it was the right decision, but now you got to deal with the issues of you're not necessarily a full-time defensive end, bruh. And the film shows it. You get a lot of sacks, but the film also shows that you can be contained. And unfortunately, you are not the guy who's taking us to the next level. So that's what we got to go through. Tell me what y'all think, though.